who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified. I don't think it's safe to be briefed on national security because the word will get out. I know at some point they're going to be calling, they're going to want to brief me, but I'm not a talker about this stuff. This is like Watergate, only it's worse. Because
You're right.
here,
It
our
is worse.
foreign enemies were in a position to hack our most sensitive national security secrets.
And you helped them.
Of course, it turns out the Russians didn't need to hack Hillary's email server.
That's right.
They were able to hack Trump's mouth.
This is like Watergate, only it's worse.
10 times worse.
The Lee Michaels Show on the Power of Voices Radio Network.
And good morning and hello world. Welcome to the show. It's Monday. How was your weekend? Everything good? Well, that's good. If you're here, it must have been okay dokie. You made it through the weekend. Kicking off another week. A lot of stuff going on. Supreme Court is saying, yeah, Mr. President, you're right. We're going to support your ban to a certain degree. A lot of other stuff in the news. We're going to bring in our cast of characters here today and chop it up with you. And good morning and hello, Carol. How you doing, girl?
I'm good.
Good. How was your weekend?
It was good.
Well, you did. You weren't very convincing of.
Well, sometimes I can't remember what I did.
Oh,
Oh, wait. Saturday, I went to a movie.
okay.
I was supposed to go with
What'd
my
you see?
friend, but, you know, they wanted to go to grocery shopping, and I didn't want to do all that. I just wanted to go hear some music.
What'd you see?
That new movie, Rough Out or Rough Date or something.
I don't know.
I told you I don't even know names of books when I read them. It was cute though. It was a great
Yeah?
movie.
Okay.
It was funny.
I like funny movies.
And then I worked yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of sad though. I do this older woman. She's probably 88, 89 years old. And I forgot that I don't have an elevator. And she's in a walker, so I kept trying to call her, and she didn't pick up the phone to tell her I'd come to the retirement home she lives in.
Mm-hmm.
And she got there, and we got her in the car, got the walker. We headed to her place, and I was shocked what they pay for these places and how they treat them.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's in Beverly Hills, and I was in the bathroom plugging in something, and she's got one room. And I seen cockroaches climbing out of the shower thing. So I killed those for her.
Yeah.
Then I went to sit on the toilet. The seat was broke. Now, this particular lady was in her walker. I mean, people talk about child abuse. Let's talk about adult abuse.
Yeah, that's.
So she was in her walker, and she thinks she can go down this hill in the walker. Well, that didn't work. When they found her, she was laid out. The only thing they said that saved her was the hairpiece I put on her head. It cushioned her.
Really?
Or her head would have split wide open.
Wow.
But to make a long story short, when the women came in with the food and I told them, they said, the Lant women, they said, don't tell us because they won't do nothing. You got to go down there and complain. So when I went to leave, I said, you know what? I'm going to say something because talking to her and realizing how kids can do you can do everything in the world for them. And then when you get older, they kind of desert you. She wants to be here because she has friends. When she moved to Connecticut, her daughter convinced her, which she bought the house. That's why her daughter got her to move there. They ignored her, so she came back here.
So she's in a assisted living or nursing home?
No, she is. There's people in there that have caregivers. She doesn't.
Okay.
She's going to need one, though.
Yeah.
So just listening to her, she started to cry. When I said, I think your kids need, she goes, I can't live with them. She said, I would be so lonely, Carol. She said, you can give your kids the world, she said, and buy them everything.
Right.
But when you get older, they're going to still ask you for stuff till they bleed you dry. She said, and then they don't give a crap about you.
Yeah.
But so I went downstairs after that because she was crying. That bothered me. So I see these 4 older people trying to tell Asians are the worst people. I would never hire them to watch a child. The ones from the Philippines. And this older man was saying to her, can you call the management? I have to talk. And she was talking to him like he was a nothing. And he got very upset, and he said, well, I would just like to talk to her. And these people are paying anywhere from probably $7,000 to $10,000 a month to live in a room.
Yeah.
So I got mad.
Not cheap.
And I looked at her, I said, why do you talk to him like that? You're working for him. He's not working for you.
Right. That's right.
So he waited for me to get back in the elevator, but I was leaving. So I told her, I said, look, and I made sure they all heard me. I said, Shirley Steinberg, I said, there's cockroaches up in her bathroom area. Oh, no, there. I said, yeah, I should have saved their bodies because I killed them. They were climbing up out of the drain pipes. I said, and then when I went to sit on her toilet, her whole seat is coming off. What are you going to do when she falls?
Yeah, they don't care.
So she was like, getting really, because you don't treat people like, so I tell people, if you're going to put your family in an old folks home, I hope you're going to go live there with them then, because.
Well, the key to it, I found, because my mother was in a nursing home for a while, and I took her out of it because I didn't like the conditions that I saw. And I brought her into my home and took care of her for 2.5 years. And the last month or two of her life, I had to end up putting her back into a nursing home.
Yeah.
But we went there every day.
Yeah,
and
you have
sometimes
to.
2 or 3 times a day to ensure that she's getting the proper care. Because when people go to those places, they're forgotten about many times, or most times by the family, because they don't want to be bothered. And so, as the old saying goes, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. And so when they see family members coming around, they pay attention to those people. The ones that don't have family members, they just lay there until they die.
She has nobody out here.
Well, that's a shame.
It's funny, though, now, this kid I know, his grandparents are in a home, and there's bed bugs in there.
No,
They're bit up all over. I said,
you know what? I've never experienced
and I
that.
said, you know what you got to do? Report them to the health department.
Absolutely.
If they're not going to help your grandparents. I said, those bed bugs will end up, your parents will die because they'll be scratching, and it's horrible.
It is
because they
horrible.
suck the blood out of people. But the conditions in old folks' homes is kind of sad. I mean, I don't care what area it's in. This was Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter.
No.
Even in the so-called upscale, wealthy places, there's
This
abuse. There's abuse everywhere. And
Well,
that's a
they
damn
wouldn't want
shame.
me coming through there checking, because I'm going to do that for now and with her. I'm going to pick her up and take her to the beach and stuff. But it's just kind of sad how somebody treats an older person.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays, you read every day where somebody's broken their houses and beat them up or knocks them out where they're walking down the street. What is going on? I was brought up to respect.
They're
older
cowards.
people.
Anybody that does anything like that is a coward, because they're not going to attack a person who's healthy and young and can defend themselves. They're going to go and prey on the weak. And that's a damn shame, and it's disgusting and un-American. It's just not human. You don't do that.
There was one good thing out of it, though. There's an older guy there. Well, they're all older. He's in his 90s, and he's hitting on her. She said he wants sex. I said, she said he can't get it up. I said, give him some Viagra. He will.
Yeah, right?
So I thought that was cute.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was
they
cute.
keep each other's company.
Yeah. Well, let's bring Chris in and see how he's doing. Chris, what's up? Oh, wait a minute. I guess I got to bring this one up. There you go.
Boom shakalaka?
Yeah, boom shakalaka laka laka.
There you go. Hey, how's it going? How you doing, Lee? How you doing, Carol?
Good.
Great, great. Alive and kicking and happy about
Nice.
that.
That's a good thing. You know, and Carol, I thought about you yesterday when I was doing my WVON show on Cool Out Radio. One of the topics was about the observance of Michael Jackson. So we talked about that last night.
Oh, cool. It's
Yeah, I
been-
thought
this
I'd
music
seen
and-
something.
Yeah, we played this music in between the breaks.
yeah, you guys can get away with that because you're on
I was
terrestrial
watching
radio.
the BET Awards. I
Yeah,
was
that-
very impressed with Bruno Mars and Chris Brown.
Oh, cool.
And Escape, and there was this white guy that rapped with another, and he was amazing. But I wasn't impressed with how these people came there dressed. You would think an award show you would put on a nice suit and look the part, but I was shocked.
They put on $500 tennis shoes and some baggy jeans and it's the way
It's
they roll.
just, to
I
me,
guess.
make it a little classier. Like Amber Rose was sitting up close to the front. It's like, why? What is she famous for? Her big fake boobs and butt, or showing
Absolutely.
her
Yeah, that's
muff
about right.
last week
That's
all
it, yeah,
over
that's it.
Instagram?
Absolutely.
But Leslie zeroed in on her and said something. But she was enjoying that, and it's like, she ought to be embarrassed. You got a little kid. Give your kid some respect.
She wants to bring back Bush, and not the Bush of the government, not Herbert Walker or W.
George W.
Right.
I don't
she
like-
wants the
Natural
good
Bush.
old fashioned Bush.
I
right.
don't think it's that attractive. Sorry.
I don't have no problems with it.
Well,
Me neither.
all.
No, I mean
Hey,
you
you know,
can trim it.
That's
You
right.
know, around
You
the
can-
edges.
You can engrave your initials in it.
You can create a airline nose strip.
That's
pad.
right. You do a mohawk.
A launch pad. Right. A smohawk. There you go. Right. That's beautiful. Man.
Yeah, absolutely. I have no problems with that. None whatsoever.
You don't like it, Carol? You don't think the Bush should come back?
well, I'm a woman, and
Well, you know me.
I'm
Listen,
yes,
Native
I know you're a
American,
woman. That's
and
why I
we're not
asked
the
you.
hairiest people in the world.
no, well, then you just don't know.
I don't think it's attractive. It's been gone for so long that
Oh, no,
it's like,
So
I mean,
like
you
any other
guys.
fashion.
I'm just not into that. I'm not into women, so
yeah.
the younger generation, they just don't have hair down there. They don't want it.
Well, that may change.
I don't think so. Not with a lot of them. It's not going
Well,
to change.
you
Oh, yeah,
know,
No, it isn't.
Shaved down there. I mean, they smooth
Paris
sailing,
Jackson's
man.
trying to bring back hair under the arms. I think that's disgusting.
now that's a little over the top.
No,
for me.
don't do that.
Yeah, that I can't get with that one. But if a woman wants to have a bush down below, then so be it. No,
Especially
ain't gonna
if you live in a
upset me.
cold, especially if you live in a cold climate.
I don't
know,
think
and you-
these girls are thinking like that.
Yeah,
Do
you
the
got
mattress mambo. Keep yourself warm.
to keep the foxhole warm.
They might as well
Exactly.
grow the hair they
Right.
get on their faces too. Then
It's all right. I remember a time when it was sexy and fashionable to have hair on your legs.
that
And I
was
still
more
see that.
with a man of color.
I still see that from time to time.
No, but that was more with the man of color because
Or girls from Germany and places
I never
like that.
seen that in Germany.
Well, I'm
been
talking
there
about
many
back in the
times.
day when it was popular. I've seen.
I'm just saying it was more popular, not around white guys.
Yeah.
It was more popular
The hell
with
with
black
them.
men because I dated a guy and he asked me to grow my hair on my legs. I said I only shave the hair every 6 months, so I don't
so
really
it ain't
get
much
hair.
to cut, huh? Right.
I don't get hair.
Well, for those I remember several. I don't think I ever dated a lady with hairy legs. Let me think about that. No, I don't think I did. But it didn't turn me off. It wasn't like,
No, I
"Oh,
remember
God, that's
men
disgusting."
like that. I remember that. I wouldn't say white guys. I'd say black guys did.
Well, I bet you Apollo didn't have a problem with it.
Well, Apollo is a white man. How would you say it? A black man trapped in a white man's body.
Oh, okay. You might be right. Because he does like the sisters. Or anybody with a big old booty. He's a booty man.
Well, he should come out here because women are not working out now a lot. You
Hmm.
see a lot of overweight women here, so it should be no problem.
Well, I don't think he likes an overweight woman, but
Well, nowadays you see them walking down the street and they'll have these white pants on and all you see is dimples and
I know.
all that. There's no excuse for that. I could see it if you've got your butt toned and you're out there working out. But
Yeah,
please
yeah.
don't wear white leggings.
Yeah, but-
It's a little nasty.
Well, the female booty is how we all got here in the first place. That's been my mantra for a long time. We got here by Yaz. LL Cool J had a song out back in the day, a rap song about butts. And one of the lyrics was, Jalisa has a big old butt.
Oh, yeah.
I told you I'd be true. Jalisa has a big old butt.
But
so
not
I'm
all men
leaving
like
you.
real big butts.
What?
Not all men like real big butts.
Well, then hell with them.
There's somebody for everybody.
I like
right.
big
Not
butts,
all
and I
men
cannot
like
lie.
that. I know guys that don't like it.
Well, that's fine because it's probably got.
I mean, there's
little
somebody
penises.
out there for everybody.
Right.
I'd never have problems catching anybody.
If
you
guys
can
that don't
bounce a
like big
quarter
butts got a little
Off
ringworm.
a female
That's
butt,
not
you're
true.
doing pretty good.
That's not true.
You should be able to bounce a quarter Off a female butt, that's pretty nice. That's nice and firm.
I like getting her all irritated.
No, it doesn't irritate me, but I had a little bit of an argument with someone this morning.
Yeah,
She
about
told
butt?
me
About butts?
black women don't do no surgeries. And I have to laugh at that because I know how much she's done.
Mm.
And I laughed because I told her, I guess you don't read the news. And all those girls on that hip hop show, they'll tell you in a minute they've done it.
Yeah, well, that's
So, I mean,
'cause they're
plastic
trying to
surgery
make
is
that
for
money.
all races, whoever wants it.
Yeah.
It's there.
You in showbiz, you're compelled.
These aren't just showbiz women that do it.
these jackasses on these reality shows, they're stuck into that whole thing of trying to stay young so they can make that money as long as they can because they know all of them know it's not going to be no 30-year run. And nobody's
Correct.
going to be interested in looking at some grandmother sitting there trying to be hip. So they try to stay as young as they can for as long as they can with the Botox and the whatever surgery they need to have, and that's the world they live in. And look, I don't have a problem with it.
I think it's
That's
great
their business.
that people are conscious of taking care of themselves. I don't go do all that stuff. I work out every day.
Right. You don't
I
have
don't
to.
lay in the sun. And when I go out in the sun, I put sunscreen.
But you're not out there trying to be in a movie role either. But if you were trying to do that, your agent and the people around you will probably tell you, well, Carol, you might want to do this
that
or you might
because
want to do
I told
that.
you when I did that magazine, I got calls from agents all over sending me messages.
Yeah.
Older women and older people do get jobs.
Oh, yeah, no question.
Hey, that's what I had a bitch to pick about. Kellyanne. Did you hear what she said, Lee and Chris?
Well, which thing are you referring to?
The
Because
one
everything
where
that
she
comes out of her
said
mouth
she
is
don't have a
stupid.
problem with the Medicaid or because the older people can go out and get jobs.
Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah, I
Does
caught
she
that crap,
realize
yeah.
that as people get older, your memory's a little shorter?
Mm.
You wake up and around 50 your body starts hurting when you get up. I mean, once you're moving, you're fine. But what does she think? People should work the rest of their life till they drop dead?
Well,
Yeah,
if
pretty
I
much
was
so.
interviewing her, I would have said, well, why is it that you just had cosmetic surgery?
It didn't do any justice on her, though. That's the joke.
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
You might want to
Go
get
back
your money
and demand
back.
a refund.
That's right. She's like all the other talking heads from the Republicans, and the Democrats do it too. They never answer the damn question. That irritates me more than anything in the world. If I give you a question that's a simple yes or no, then give me a simple yes or no. Don't give me the rain dance and bullshit around and waste my time and eat up the whole damn broadcast. What was the lady's name on CNN? She had her on. It must have been a 12 or 14-minute segment. And she just kept repeating the same nonsense and never answered the damn question. And wanted to argue, well, I gave you an answer, blah, 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 blah. And now I'm going to keep repeating it. Why? Because that's how they ensure they get their message out. They don't want to superserve any other agenda except their own. And she's good at it, but I hate it. It's just so wrong. And that's how they have advanced their own agenda and fooling and hoodwinking the people in America. And it's time for that bullshit to stop. November 6, 2018. Write it down, pass it around, let everybody know that if you don't like your House of Representative or your senator or governor, there'll be some governors up for grabs as well, then go and vote and get these clowns out of there. I say flush the damn toilet on both sides of the aisle. Let's start out fresh, brand new people. I'm sick and tired of looking at all these criminals that are super serving their own interests and not ours. The hell with them, all of them. Bye-bye. See you, don't want to be you. Don't get upset. Just go home and enjoy the rest of your life with all the benefits that you've accrued, and you're good. You don't have to worry about anything anymore. Your health care is paid for. You got a handsome income for the rest of your life. And if y'all don't get the hell out of my face and get on down the road, I'm going to sick Alpha on you.
Don't sick me on them.
I know you want to get a piece of them.
I told I've said it and I'll continue to say it. Now Barack Obama is the colluder. Not Trump.
Of course.
Now, Comey and Mueller are friends, and they're hiring all the Clinton lawyers and all. You know, at some point, there has to be a pivot and turn into the fight. The fight is simply this. For the remainder of his stay in the White House, however long he's there, he is a illegitimate, lying piece of shit. And they should ask him, what did Mother Russia tell you to do today? And that's how you fight these people. You don't fight. You fight them when they say Mueller and Comey are friends and they hiring all the Clinton people. You fight them by saying Putin and Trump are friends.
That's right.
And Flynn and Trump are friends. Flynn is a foreign agent who lied. His attorney general lied to get confirmed. You fight them bare knuckle, bit for bit, give and take, back and forth.
I agree with you 100%.
This little pritzing around, you take away health care, and the CBO score is out, not out yet, but it's going to be bigger. You kill people, people will die. Republicans have blood. That is the narrative that should be repeated. You frame a narrative with repetition, and Democrats just don't have.
No, they don't have the kahunas.
They don't have the stomach for it.
No, I agree with you 100%, Alfo. They're sitting back, playing a different game than they should be playing,
right.
And that's why they're
losing.
losing.
The lie. There may be tapes. So now you're not only have you obstructed justice, now you're interfering with witnesses.
Now let me ask you a question.
You're witness tampering.
The ambassador from Russia is now getting booted out of the U.S.
No. He's being called home. We didn't throw him out.
Well, that's true. That's true.
We didn't throw him out.
We're basically at war with Russia already.
So why do you think they called him home?
Because he's a lightning rod. He's a spy, and everybody knows it. And instead of everybody calling him a spy, they call him an ambassador.
Well, on my Facebook page, I called him a spy. I didn't sugarcoat it, and I said, "Goodbye, MF. Get out of here and take Clinton and the rest of his little thug ass friends that he's in collusion with. Get them all out of here. I want a recall of this election. Period. I don't want a damn impeachment. I don't give a damn about an impeachment. Don't mean jack. I want an election recall. I want to do it all over again and kick his monkey ass out so that he cannot run. He shouldn't be allowed. He's polluted. He's corrupt. He's damaged. He is not an American force.
Who, Trump?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but did you hear him trying to blame Obama? But
well,
Obama went to Mitch McConnell and he told him don't say when he was seen that they were interfering.
Well, see, but that, again, it changes the narrative. It gets it off him and puts it on somebody else. That's what they do repeatedly.
And like Obama has done,
it's predictable.
Democrats won't raise that issue. It was the Republicans that wouldn't allow him to articulate that the Russians were interfering because they were poised to say he had his thumb on the scales. And see, everybody's sitting around talking about where the Democrats... If you notice the narrative for the last 3 weeks, what do Democrats have to do? Where did Democrats go wrong? They didn't go wrong. They don't have anything else to do. Cross-check must be fixed. The boy in Georgia just lost by 11,000 votes. Less than 11,000.
But that wasn't all of Atlanta. That was only one district.
No, it's not Atlanta at all.
My sister lives out there, and she said it was one district.
Yeah, it's north of Atlanta.
Out of that district.
Suburbs.
Out of that district, they registered 86,000 African-American new voters.
No, she explained that to me. She said that a lot of people were registered in that district, but they didn't live there, so that was an issue.
Okay, but are you telling me that out of the 40,000 that disappeared.
No, I'm not telling you.
and
No,
the
I'm
10
just going by what she said because it ran neck to neck for the longest. She didn't win by that much.
10,000
Right.
Asian, the 10,000 Asian votes that disappeared. They may have all been from the same district, but that election fraud, that voter suppression, with the cross-check in Georgia alone, 600,000 have been purged from the voting rolls. You think 10,000 of those could have made a difference from that district?
Now, and in view of the fact that it was such a close race, only 10,000 votes separated the two of them, which is that district is not high in population of minorities. It's not known to be a heavily populated Democratic district. So that tells me that if it was not for the cleansing that they did, this could have been a major turnaround. And I think that was the view, because even the rednecks in Georgia in this district said, okay, enough of this madness. Otherwise, it would not have been that close. They obviously had some crossover Republicans that voted Democratic this time. And then the people who wanted to vote or did vote, maybe provisional ballots or whatever, those votes may not have been counted. I think that every election since the presidential, including the presidential election, needs to be a thorough, deep investigation and not just ignore the facts that have been put out there in the media and just say, oh, well, the election is over and he won fair and square. Bullshit. There's still too many unanswered questions. What happened to all the provisional ballots in Michigan and Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Ohio, North Carolina? Were they in fact counted? And if they were not, why not? Why were so many people taken off the rolls? Well, a lot of them were dead. How do we know that? If those dead people came to the poll to vote, then they're not dead. They're not dead. You require people to have ID. If they come to the poll with an ID, over and done with. You should not question whether or not this is a legitimate entry. But they're making it as difficult as possible. I'm waiting for them to go back and say, how many bubbles in a damn bar of soap? I'm waiting for that. Nothing would surprise me anymore.
Today's soap doesn't bubble, number one. Number two, if you look at the things that they're giving priority to,
right?
It's nonsense.
It's
total
beyond
nonsense.
Yeah, it really is.
And it's being accepted by the media because the media is a corporate media.
Yeah.
We get shortchanged. The people, the middle class, is done. We are finished.
Over and out.
Just like I said, Ossoff didn't stand a chance. He didn't stand a chance. He came up at 10,000 votes short because they stole 50,000 votes.
Yeah.
So when you're playing on that type of playing field, you can only expect to lose. And oh, by the way, Nancy Pelosi got to go. Okay? Why? Why? She passed 309 bills that Republicans filibustered that would have gave us infrastructure repair, that would have brought jobs back and gave tax credits to those who brought jobs back, that would have stopped giving tax credits to those who outsourced jobs. 309 bills. And now what's Trump doing? What are Republicans doing right now? Accusing Democrats of being obstructionists.
Yep. Straight up.
They are taking what the Democrats should have been doing, Republicans are doing now.
Yeah.
And accusing them of being obstructionists, and will hold them up as why any and everything failed and why this country cannot move forward and why the middle class. And they will keep these white folks, hard-working Rust Belts, angry.
That's true.
As the nonsense continues. This man is he's not just a charlatan. He's a master charlatan. He's a master media manipulator. And he's a master liar. And he manipulates. All this occurs because he lies so well.
Now,
Here we are.
Let's go around the round table here and get some opinions from the cast of characters here. The Supreme Court ruled today that President Trump was correct in putting this travel ban in place. Now, they haven't done their final ruling on it, but they temporarily have given support to what Trump was trying to do, to ban these countries from being able to come here for at least 90 days. What's your thoughts on that, Alpha? Let's go with you first.
Why not? Why not the countries he didn't ban, the countries he does business with? You see, they've got him in court for violating the Emoluments Clause and profiting off his presidency. Personally, this will have a great bearing in an argument before the Supreme Court. You pick Muslim countries that you do not have a chance of getting any business dealings with. Iran. You know, you didn't pick Saudi Arabia.
No.
You didn't take Saudi Arabia, and well, how many of the 19 9/11 bombers were from Saudi Arabia?
That's right.
I mean, it's beyond, I would call it beyond, fairness is out the window because it's never been fair.
No.
There's never been, even scales here. So if it's not a Muslim ban, you're on the record at least a dozen times saying it is a Muslim ban.
That's right.
And that's unconstitutional. But he will get his way.
Yeah, because he's got the deck stacked in his favor with these Republicans on the Supreme Court. And there's rumors going around that Kennedy may be stepping down because he's getting up in age. Yeah,
if he goes, checkmate.
Yep.
And Kennedy is no liberal by any means, and he votes with these right-wingers
more often than not.
More often than not. Because Alito, Roberts, Uncle Ruckus, what's his name?
Uncle Ruckus.
I mean, it gets to that point.
Oh, God.
You have Anton Scalia die, and you have Republicans say, hell no, that nigga can't put another Supreme Court justice up.
Right.
And he backs off. He should have recessed appointed his nominee. Recess appoint him. Then you can let him go after that particular term is done. Mm-hmm. He goes back to being just a nominee. But don't back off the fight. And that's what he is so to me, he's more famous to backing down than he is for anything else, because at the end of the day, backing down will be the only thing that's left. Mm-hmm. They will reverse any and everything else he's done. Good for him, because he didn't stand and fight when it was time to.
Mm-hmm. Well, I agree that I always hope that Obama and the Democrats would put up a bigger, stronger fight consistently. And I think that's where they failed.
And as a great philosopher said, that's all I got to say about that.
All right, Chris, what's your thoughts on the Supreme Court suggestion at this point?
Yeah. It's more than disturbing, because, we look at our country, this is before, of course, 45, as far as I was concerned, the way your vision is. That a lot of people in other countries want to come here. They know that this is a great country that can flourish and benefit, and then depending on where they came from, probably just a better way of life in general. And not only that, you get a chance to express your freedom from a religious standpoint, no matter what God or gods you believe in or whatever you believe in, that's fine. Now, what happens in this situation is that you're being targeted. So, for example, the countries that we're referring to, some of them are Sudan, Syria, Iran, Yemen, and Somalia, for example. And when you've met people, so have I over the years, and when you meet people from out of the country, when we sit down and talk to them, you get a whole different vision of how this country really is. And it's a really that inside, outside conversation you have.
Right.
And the whole thing about banning, see, the word ban alone bothers me. Because if you can ban this, you can ban anything else. Just as a start with just the whole thing with travel banning. Now, once again, they state here, travel ban allow for people with no ties in the U.S.
Right.
You're constantly dividing people for whatever bullet points you have, religion, and I dare say down the road with race, sexuality, is coming around the corner. Because the man's a dictator. Case in point, you're going to have off-camera White House briefings now. Now, just because you get off-camera, that still means you'll sound stupid when we get to the podium. Stupidity,
but,
whether you see it or listen to it or both.
But Russian
so
media,
one element away.
Right.
Say that again.
And the Russian media was allowed to come into the conference, but not the American media. They could have their cameras and microphones, but come on, what freaking country are you in, man? Who do you represent, them or us?
Yeah, I say mostly them and not all of them.
Bull.
Because here's my thing, too, about the whole Russian over time. I noticed in the past 10 to 15 years, just whatever, that a lot of Russians were buying property in Miami, Florida.
Buying it up left and right.
Exactly, right. And that was kind of unusual because, all of a sudden you see all these buildings, people tell me, that are now owned by Russians. Now,
that's right.
With 45 into the office, where he is now, of course, and his ties to Russia, my theory was the import-export that we have will become legal, more than legal because of ties to Russia. You also bring in people who probably are a part of the, Russian mafia, make them not pay for their crimes on U.S. soil because they have diplomatic immunity.
Yep.
And it gives them free rein.
Nasty, mean-spirited people. And I'm talking to you firsthand knowledge. When I lived in South Florida, went around looking at properties, ran into some of these clowns that recently bought some of the condos right on the Atlantic Ocean through the Gold Coast all the way down to Miami Beach. And let me tell you something. They're nasty. And somebody told them that they could get away with it, and guess what? They are. Okay? It used to be the Cubans controlled South Florida. And still in Little Havana, down in that area, it still is. But they're losing a foothold because the Russians are coming in by the boatload, and they're coming in, buying up the property. And, you can say, well, Russia's, not very economically doing well, but bullshit. The ones that have money, the real criminals are coming here, buying up property, living large.
Right. Yeah,
and why?
You have to do that. You have to do that because, as you know, with people with that type of high-collar, white-collar crime, you have to be legitimate in certain areas for you to do your dirty work.
Yeah.
To get your money clean, to have, quote-unquote, legit businesses to put up the front and behind the scenes, a whole different thing.
It is. It's a shame. But anyway, that's what's happening. Carol, what are your thoughts? Is this a good thing that the Supreme Court just ruled on? And they did another ruling today as well. We'll talk about that.
Well, I don't know what they determined a terrorist because all the stuff that's happened here in the last 2 years was done by white people. But I can never understand why they're not considered a terrorist, like the one that just hit that baseball practice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he was black or Hispanic or a Muslim, he'd be a terrorist. But this guy, they don't consider him one. That doesn't make sense.
Well, he
to
certainly
me.
terrorized those Republicans out there playing baseball.
I
didn't he?
think you do have to be a little careful because I don't know if you've traveled a lot overseas, but I have, and other countries are very careful.
I've never been to Europe. Really,
Well,
I've
I've
never
been
had
to
any
the-
desire to go over there.
I've been
Really?
to the Middle East and everywhere, and some of the hotels, they try to make you give them your passport. They want to hold on to it. So I think he's going to hurt our economy more, but I don't understand because he's out there trying to make deals with all these people.
Of course.
So how does he separate the Middle East if he says it's the Middle East? Like someone said 9/11 were guys from Saudi. How is he separating that?
He's not.
Is he not able to do business with Iran
Well,
or
he-
Syria or any of those people? Is he not able to just jump in and try to dictate their countries?
well, he should
No.
not
So
have any
I-
personal ties with any of these
Well,
countries
that's-
or any country
what
as
I
far as I'm
wonder about
concerned.
him.
Not while he's in the White House. He shouldn't.
Now, a lot of people
That's a
don't
conflict.
want to see him impeached because they say Pence and Ryan would be even worse.
I want all of them out.
Yeah.
Damn an impeachment.
Well, what I was listening to, that's where they're trying to head to prove it. And they're trying to backfire back on Obama. But I read something today that Obama went to Mitch McConnell and he didn't want to hear it. He told him to stay quiet about it or something. He didn't want to hear it. So it wasn't that Obama wasn't leery about the Russians and didn't go to somebody. They didn't want to hear it.
No, of course not. Because, why? Because they're involved.
I just think they're destroying our country. Our tourism's down. They're destroying this country.
Of course they are. Absolutely.
I mean, they'll have control over water soon. See, because they want to put all their oil in to destroy the water. There'll be limited water, so that's everything they do. There's a purpose.
How
It's
much?
like a movie I seen where they separated, because even a millionaire's not considered rich now. A millionaire's not rich.
Yeah,
you have to have billions
that's
or
middle,
hundreds of
that's
millions.
upper middle class now.
I don't
you
even
ain't
know
that
if it's
special.
upper middle class. I think it's middle class.
Yeah, well, the middle
I used
class
to be
is definitely
middle class,
shrinking.
but now I think I'm considered poor.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's frightening that this man got in office, and the people it's going to affect the most for letting these people in are these ones that voted for him.
Yeah, well, they're going to get the short end of the stick. Just
I mean,
They'll see
I
sooner or
I
later.
can't even talk to some of my family members.
it's probably best not to.
I have a sister that comes out here almost every weekend, and she don't call none of us, but she's always been a little bit of a racist.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Can't be a little bit. Either you are or you aren't.
That's
You know,
like
it can't be-
being a little
I don't know
pregnant.
about her at
Oh,
times.
she's a little
I
pregnant,
really
isn't
don't.
she? No, she's pregnant.
Just a little bit. Yeah, not too much. Just a little
She
bit.
is knocked up. Period. In.
I mean,
over and
how
out.
do you introduce your sisters? Oh, my father's married to their mother. Well, isn't
No,
that
she's
your
a half
mother?
sister.
Isn't that your mother?
Yeah. That's trying to show a difference that she thinks is
And
beneficial
believe it
to
or
her.
not, some of my family members, they're going to really suffer. It's going to hurt them.
Sometimes that's the way you learn, through suffering and pain. You got to stump your toe, bump your head, skin your knee, scratch up your elbow to learn. That's not good. I shouldn't do that again. I shouldn't think
So
that
how
way.
many have to die?
Well,
How
that
many
too.
have to die?
That too.
Well, I just think it's a modern day genocide is what they're doing if they get their health thing. Because I was watching all the people with crippled kids and things. I have a client that has MS. My daughter's sick. If she can't get her shot, my daughter will possibly die. And there's a lot of people in that same position.
Yeah. Millions.
I mean, it's like, do they own the insurance companies too? Because I'm starting
No,
to
the
wonder.
insurance companies own them.
On them, right?
Yeah.
How
That's
many
horrible.
people? That's how
It's-
it should be couched.
And some
How
might
many
have
people
stock
have to
in these.
die?
Some of them might have stock in these insurance companies. So that to me is a conflict. How can you own stock and then pass bills that benefit that company? How do you get
Look
away
at the
with
price. Look at Price. Look at the head. What is he? What is he secretary of? Healthcare. Health and this man as senator voted for a particular bill that made insurance companies profitable.
Sure.
And he owned the stock. He owned a lot of stock in that. So they got Blagojevich here in Illinois in jail for pay to play.
Mm-hmm.
And on the federal level, they're just running rampant.
Absolutely. And it's not going to stop. They're so deep in corruption, they have to continue to lie and protect each other. Otherwise, they're all going to go to jail. They all will have fire on their asses. From Washington, D.C., I'll be able to see the flames here in California. That's how bad these politicians are. When the fire finally catches on, you'll see it all over the country because it's that huge. We can sit here and think that, oh, it's just an isolated few. Bullshit. You know why? Why I say that? It's very clear. Why hasn't someone on one side of the aisle stood up by now and said, hey, look, this stuff ain't right. Here's what I know. I know this guy did this. He's corrupt. He needs to be thrown out right now. And his pension and everything should be taken away from him because it's un-American. It's not right. Not one. I'm waiting for one person to stand up and spill their guts.
You'd be better off being black and telling on a white, dirty cop. Are you kidding?
All right. So what do you guys think about this Supreme Court ruling today that said this church in Missouri can accept state money to make their playground safer? Now, let me just say this. I think the playground should be made safe for our children so they don't hurt themselves while out playing. But is this a problem, and does it set a precedent that says other churches can now go before their state, and I think it's 30-some states that have this law, that you're not supposed to give state tax dollars to churches, separation of state and church. Does this open up other opportunities for church to file lawsuits or demand they get money from the state? Alpha,
well,
you go.
We do charter schools, and it's on kind of the same premise. But when you get people standing back talking about their religious freedoms, and no one is imposed upon their religious freedoms, it's a religious lie. And they call themselves Christians, and they shouldn't. Mm-hmm. When you hear people talk about my health care and your health care and everybody else's health care, and they all take government get government out of health care, and they all get government health care. What does that say? There is a level of hypocrisy for white folks, white privilege. White privilege. Think about it. Think about it. I can't drive around. I can't be in a certain place without being pulled over by cops and being asked for my ID without probable cause. Without we got a call and you fit the description, shoot him dead. In so many instances and examples, how many black people, unarmed, have been shot dead in the last 7-8 years since Obama come in, and way before then. But when you get to a point, Lee, where there are different standards, and we're way beyond that point. There are different standards in this country for different people. And it's not just enough to point out the disparaged treatment of the minority class. When you have cops who shoot with unabashed intention, it's time to shoot back. When you have cops who beat with impunity, it's time to shoot back. Shoot first, shoot back. And if that's where think about it. Think about the rationalized, the radicalized black people in this country. Think about car bombs going off every day, every other day, 2-3 times a day, because people have gotten sick and tired. Look at Dallas. Look at the 5 people who died in Dallas. The 5 police officers who died in Dallas, and their hair was on fire. That has to be done a little bit more often than norm, than for everybody to take it to a level of uncontrolled anarchy. You want to talk about purge? It should start in that House of Congress. It should start in the judicial chambers. Purge. And that's the bottom line.
Chris, what are your thoughts?
Ask the question again, please.
Beep. I'm sorry, your time is up. You got to pay attention.
Oh, stop. No, stop. Just ask the question again, please. I appreciate it.
We're talking about this latest ruling from the Supreme Court that has given the state of Missouri permission to give state tax dollars to a church who wants the funding to be used for making their playground safer. My question was, by this ruling, will this say to other states, or again to the state of Missouri, it's okay to do that? What if the church says, I need a new roof, or I want to expand the church, I need a jet for the pastor? Does this open up Pandora's box and say that, well, it's okay?
Well, the reason why I asked you to ask it again was the fact that it reminds me of politicians who go to churches and campaign. It should be separate. We all know that, but unfortunately it's not. And religion and pastors and politics make strange bedfellows since you can remember. And what happens is it's too much compromising. So you, as a pastor, have no problem having this politician come in and trying to get votes from your parishioners. And it's been, going on. I think to this degree, I agree with you. Yes, the playground should be safe for all children, but at what cost? Because if you've done this campaigning, quote unquote, for these particular politicians, well, yeah, you got to get something back out of it. As Alpha was about pay to play. It wouldn't surprise me that this in Missouri is a grander scale. If you think about it in that direction, because that way, they can get what they want from a, church perspective. They have roofs fixed or whatever, and they'll probably check their background to see if they voted for certain people.
Yeah.
That would surprise me a bit.
Why not pass the plate?
Yeah.
Say, look, we need to make the playground safer. And apparently they wanted to put down this rubberized playground, so when kids fall down, they don't, scar themselves up severely. And I've seen that in several playgrounds around in my travels, and I think it's a good idea. It keeps serious injuries from happening. But, how much did it cost? How much money is involved here? Is it $5,000, $10,000, $20,000? Pass the damn plate. Make this a special offering until you raise the money. If the people who go to that church, their kids are going to be safer, if I was a member of that church, I would give money to that cause. Why do you have to go beyond your neighborhood to get something like that done?
Well, at the same, and you're right. We as sometimes as certain people, we sometimes forget that we can do these things on our own.
Right.
I think it's a matter of education and resources. And then when we run out of resources, don't have any, we want a helping hand, quote unquote, outside of our own communities. And then when we ask so many times, the communities that we live in don't belong to us anymore. It belongs to them.
Right.
Because now we got to pay them back. Now I did you a favor, now you got to do me a solid. And that's where it becomes, very muddy water and very colluded, because you sold out your community for A, B, and C.
That's true.
That's what I think happens sometimes.
Yep. Carol, what are your thoughts?
I don't really have any thoughts on it.
Not at all?
No, it wouldn't matter what I think.
Well, of course it does.
No, he's whatever they want to do, they're going to do. Remember, they already said that churches could donate to them and that or something they've started. It's a mess. Our country's a mess. I try to steer away from it lately.
Yeah.
It's too depressing.
All right. Well, let's move to the other story that I find kind of interesting. Brother Castile was killed from several gunshots from a police officer up in Minnesota. Well, the police officer was not found guilty. He walks away. He's going to have to leave that police department. Why? Why does he have to leave if he was not guilty? Okay, that's question number one. Number two, now the family of the victim is receiving a $3 million settlement. Why? If they did nothing wrong, why are they paying $3 million to his family?
10,000 of that.
Say again?
10,000 of that I would pay to have a hitman hunt him down and not just kill him, kill everything that he loves.
Right.
Well, that's kind of sad.
It
Thank
is,
you.
but
Thank you.
But that's the
Thank
way a
you.
lot of people feel.
Yeah, but
And
I
you
don't
have
think
to-
that's right. Why should they have
That's the
to
way I
die?
look at it. That's
I don't
exactly
look
the
at
way
it
I
like
look
that.
at it.
Well, the rationale
We-
from some
it
people
just
would
makes
say
two wrongs don't make a right.
that's
I
true.
could see killing him, but
that's true.
not his family and his animals and everything.
Well, the
An
family
eye for an
members
eye,
of
and we all go blind.
yeah.
Do what?
You never heard an eye for an eye, and we all go blind.
Well, I've heard of eye for eye, but I can't see going in and killing somebody's whole family.
I
everything he
understand what
loves.
you're saying,
Why?
Kara. I understand what you're saying, but when you have gone down every path, righteous path, through the channels of law enforcement, through the court system, and it's rigged against you, that's what radicalizes.
But why
people.
did the family take the $3 million settlement? Was it to shut up?
Because they killed Philando
No,
Castillo.
I know what happened. I seen this weeks ago when it happened. But why did the family take the money? To be quiet? Because
Well-
I have tapes of the mother, which was extremely sad. And I think I showed Lee with the little kid in the cop car with the mother, which
Yep.
was extremely sad. But why did the family go ahead and take the money? Why are
Well,
they taking
why-
the $3
why
million?
shouldn't they? Why
Is it
shouldn't
for
they? Why
her
wouldn't
to
they?
be quiet? I'm just
No.
curious.
You just,
No, I don't think
you
it's
just
a
gonna
matter
leave the
of-
money
Well,
on the table.
that's a question, though.
Yeah.
I'm just
I don't
curious.
think it's to
No amount of money
paid-
could, if you killed my kid,
right.
no amount of money could change how I feel.
Right.
I wouldn't want to kill your family, but I would make sure you
Carol.
left.
Well, I think it's
Carol.
it's just a gesture for their pain and suffering.
Sure, exactly.
But, you know,
so
Oh, come on. You think
Yeah,
they ain't
but
paying her to be quiet?
$30 million or $300
No,
million
it's $3
is not
million.
going to bring the mother's son back. Number
No.
one,
exactly.
never.
But I don't know. I think I have her tape if you want to hear it, what the mother was saying. It was very sad
Oh yeah,
about
She's been
losing
very-
her son.
Of
But,
course.
I mean, think logically wise. I mean, $3 million, she went on a rage, which I could totally understand being a mother. But is $3 million a buyout to maybe get her to quiet up now?
Well, I'm sure that's the hope of the city.
That's all I wanted to hear.
That's the whole.
Wait, of course,
But
they
I
wanted
wouldn't
to
go out
go
and
away.
kill his family. His family
It's not
didn't do
going to. It's
nothing.
not going to cure her sorrow.
No.
It's not going to cure her rage. It's not going to cure her anger.
Nope,
If you
not at
leave
all.
$3.5 million on the table because you are got your arms folded, sitting in a poopy diaper and pissed, so be it. And the comments that I made, kill him and his whole family, it goes directly as a pushback to the terrorism
But then you go
that they're
right
doing
back to
to
what,
us.
when we had these gangbangers here. Basically, that's the same mentality they have. Listening to them. Did you pay attention when he was saying that, Lee?
When who
how
said what?
if a rival gang, how they go in their neighborhood and kill somebody, it's totally changed now. They go in theirs and just shoot up a little kid or whatever.
Yeah.
So
'Cause they're
it's
cowards.
like it's that thinking the same way. Why not kill the
psychological.
person that did it, but why hurt his family?
Exactly. I mean, I agree with that. I agree. Look, I am simply, once you turn it into this type of warfare, everything, the first casualty of war is innocence. And if that's what they've made this. We did not start this. We did not start this. Let me start with that. It wasn't black people going out just murdering, raid, or just a rampage, or black folks killing innocent white folks walking home with their kids. And no, it was white police officers who, by the way, in 2006, the FBI report says the Klan has infiltrated the police, the judges.
Well, can
the
I ask you a
prosecutors.
question? What do you
That's
think
right.
they did to my people?
Well, it's the same
You,
problem.
it was the
Your
biggest
people-
bloodbath in
Look,
history.
it
But
was-
they
you know
don't
what-
tell you that history in school. Nobody does.
So,
But you know
But
the
they
way
don't-
I feel,
You're
because
right.
there's so much anger. If I was in a country and it wasn't my country and somebody brought me somewhere to be a slave or that, I would hope to get the hell out of that country because I wouldn't want to be there.
Well, they had
I
no-
don't want to be here now. I
they-
really don't.
They had no way of leaving.
But you get what I'm
And
saying.
there
It
were-
wasn't
and there are
just
no-
blacks
there are no
that went
Uber
through this.
boats.
Native Americans got it worse than you did.
Yeah, there was no.
There are
There's
no
hardly
Uber
any of
boats.
us left.
You can, Carol, you can argue the.
But
the-
I'm just
the-
trying to tell you, slavery
I'm
happened
just saying,
too.
the Holocaust that happened to the
That
American
was horrible
Indians,
too.
it started there.
But that's what I'm
And
trying
the
to say. There's been
miseducation.
hate in all different types of races and that.
Absolutely.
And we're
We acknowledge
headed
that.
back towards that direction if these people remain in office. Now, if I was going to kill somebody, I'm older now, I wouldn't have a problem going in trying to get them. Not in the least bit.
Well, I would like to
I
see.
wouldn't care if they blow the whole White House up with them all in it.
Well, I would like to see.
Oh, you're
it
going to
mo-
get a visit from the Secret
Yeah,
Service.
really. Now, you want to talk to us a
Why?
little bit about what
he
you just
sat
said?
and when he complained about what's Johnny Depp going on stage saying, "Should I assassinate Trump?" Trump didn't have a problem with Ted. Is it Ted Nugent? I
Ted
don't pay
Nugent,
attention to
yeah.
that asshole.
Yeah, Ted-
What
Ted
he
Nugent.
said with Trump, he was standing there with Trump talking about what he would do to Obama. Why is that different? I can never figure that one out. Why should Trump feel
Because-
this man should be punished now because he spoke the same way the guy did that?
Because it's birds of a feather
Yeah, it
flocking
just really
together.
bothers me.
That's all.
To be honest, if
And we
I
allow him
won
to
the
get away with it.
lottery, I would not be in this country. I would take my money and I'd be gone.
Where would you go?
Anywhere but here. I don't want to be in this country. Not with these people in office. They
I
have
hear you.
they have too much hate and too much anger. And I'm seeing a lot of stuff being stirred up that's really starting to frighten me. And they're making people angry in all different races. It's becoming. Are we getting ready to have a revolution in our own country? Will they blow us all away? I mean, there's a movie out that this reminds me of, and it's
Yeah.
kind of frightening.
It is frightening.
It's frightening.
But it's realistic.
It
I think
is
I think what you
realistic,
just
and-
said about a revolution,
Yeah.
it's really ironic because there was a young lady in my car yesterday, and she thought that the United States of America, is on the verge of a revolution.
Yes, they are.
And she said she's
And
frightened.
that's what they want.
Well, they do, and the revolution will be televised, and more importantly, a lot of people will be slaughtered. There are many of the major metropolitan areas. The police departments are armed with military-type weaponry. So when you do that, you've already given me a shot across the bow saying we are
But do you
anticipating the big one.
Do you realize a lot of their families don't believe in what Trump's doing. So a lot of these people, even soldiers, will have to make a decision.
That's true.
Am I going to sit here and go along with this dictator, or are we going to? Because basically, that's what's happened in other countries. When you got the ISIS, and then you have this other group of rebels, and you got is they broke away. So
well, I think if the country went into a war with each other, a civil war, I think there will be a lot of military personnel that will cross over and say, no, I'm not going to shoot my own people because I disagree with what's going on. I do believe that will happen.
That's what I was basically saying.
I talked to a guy from the National Guard who's just left training for a potential invasion in a foreign country. And he said there are a number of his colleagues, military people, do not agree with this president. And I said, well, what would happen if he sends you into a place to perform war? He says, I think some guys won't want to do it, depending on where he's going to send us. I said, it's going to be interesting. He says, yeah. And
They'll do it.
He says, in the beginning, before he was elected, there were a lot of his military buddies, when they would go out on these training sessions, were hip, hip, hooray for Donald Trump. He says, now they're not speaking those words. They're very silent. I think many of them have had a change of mind in view of the fact that this guy continues to be boo-boo the damn fool. And talking, just pulling crap out of his butt, blaming everybody else for his bad behavior, and doing the things that his family members, and what is it, $200 and some million his son-in-law received just before the election? From where? Deutsche Bank?
Deutsche Bank. The infamous money laundering. We're not going to cooperate. And as a you see, this is the problem. Republicans controlling Congress. They are doing nothing to Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank is clear to go. So, the Russia supporting Confederate Republicans are in control, and that's where America is headed.
Well, it's a shame.
The labeling of Republicans and the connection to Mother Russia should be the question. What has Mother Russia told Republicans to do today? What has Mother Russia told Donald Trump to do?
Exactly. The Queen of
When
Russia.
you have the Prime Minister of Russia, a former KGB spy,
right.
What do you expect? What do you want? The banker who Kirshner was talking to graduated from the KGB School of Spies. Putin gave him a bank to run. That's the slush fund that Putin uses.
That's right.
And you've got Donald Trump's son-in-law talking to him. And why, how, and why do you give a 36-year-old so much responsibility and so much that he's in charge of?
That's right. Got the old man's ear and his daughter. The pimping that's going on in this situation is just unbelievable to me. The United States of America is being pimped out right in front of our faces by this family and all of his cronies and these damn Republicans that's allowing it to happen. And the Democrats that are sitting around just, oh man, what are we going to do? Get some backbone. Stand up. Talk about what you know. Spill the damn beans. Okay? You want to use the terms that the kids are using? What is it?
Snitch.
Snitch, bitch. Come on. Stand up. This is about America. This ain't about your personal gain. Stop being a wussy.
And
save
since
America
your
now.
party been first?
That's right.
You know, it's funny, we were talking about this $3 million payout. There's an article that just came up, and they're talking about all the money that they have paid out to cover up for this brutality that these cops do.
Of
Money
course.
that could be spent on other stuff.
Yeah, like safety for the people in these communities.
Chicago,
How about
really, they've
infrastructure?
got
Yeah.
paid
Oh,
out more
okay.
than $500 million to police misconduct.
How much would it cost
Exactly.
to clean up the water in Michigan? How much would it cost to get some
They don't
purified
care
water
because
for the
it's
people?
in minority areas.
Of course they
don't,
don't care. But I'm just saying, the money that's being wasted, spent on bullshit, is not being spent on things that's going to be in the best interest of this country, the people.
Lee, that is why you put incompetence in head of government positions, so you can demonize and vilify government, and then you can bring it down. There should be a tone, a narrative that says these people are trying to destroy America. And that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't care. Give it a name. Put a suit on it. You can never make it look good, because what you're witnessing now, and you just wait. Hopefully, we'll all still be alive. You just wait until that tar sand oil pollutes the Ola aquifer, whatever the hell they call it, that aquifer that runs in 6 or 7 states, that is the agriculture foundation, and destroys our agriculture.
Right.
Or the fracking, when it destroys the water and earthquakes the hell out of everybody, because corporations wanted to make a profit.
Sure. The
When I say-
Monsantos of the world.
When I say kill him and kill everybody he loves, that's what I mean. There must be not just a harsh punishment. That's what you see with these radical ISIS and Al Qaeda. They take it to the next level. They take it to the, it's not civilized level, because it's been taken there to them. People have taken it to ISIS and Al Qaeda. I am not pro-ISIS nor pro-Al Qaeda, but the radicalization has brought us to this point. How the hell do you go into a mall and start shooting and killing innocent people because you want to shock, you want to terrorize, because that's what it's been taken to?
Yeah, absolutely. Totally. Now, I'll tell you, I had a conversation with a friend of mine who happens to live down in Boca Raton, Florida. And, he came from the mob world. Okay, I mean, he's certified, been to prison several times, all of that. He's the real deal. But, even people like him can't stand Trump. He says one thing for sure. When Trump did business with the mob, he didn't screw them. He paid them. I said, well, maybe it's time for the mob to have a telephone conversation with him and let him know that, hey, look, man, you're not hurting us, but you're hurting some of the people that we're doing business with. And this needs to change. Now, that's one thing. The other thing is that what drives me nuts is during the presidential election, how could, with all the intelligence that this great country has, how could we not know that our election was being tampered? How is it that the Russians were able to get into our system, the technology, the computers, whatever, and our people without us knowing? I say to you, we knew. And the people that knew, I would look at Paul Ryan, Reince Priebus, Pence, Trump, Trump's family members, all of them, sons, daughters, son-in-law, cat, dog, wife, mistress, all of them. And then further down into Congress, both in the House and the Senate. I'm saying there's a lot of people that were involved in this shenanigan. There's no way in hell no way that all the polls could have been wrong. No way in hell could the Democrats not know, based on their research and polling and all of that, to expect an ass whipping the way it came down. I'm saying this election was flawed, tampered with, highly produced, and it came in 4 or 5 different ways. The cleansing of the voting rolls in all of these states, especially in Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Florida, and some others. But certainly in those states had a major impact on the outcome of the election. On top of that, not if that wasn't good enough, see, the smokescreen was the Russian involvement and the investigation on the email server, which was just a crock of crap, with Comey coming out with all of the different press conferences, making these announcements, especially that one was right before the election. That was just, that nailed the coffin. So it was a combination. This was called the quiet storm, and it was not soft and warm. It was highly destructive. And it came from 5 different angles. But how could the United States of America, FBI, CIA, Secret Service, the members of Congress, nobody, you telling me that everybody was sleeping at the wheel? I can't buy that. I can't buy it. No damn way. I'm saying this was an orchestrated, well-planned project that the Republicans spearheaded with foreign influence. And I'm not ruling out China and some other countries that may have been involved. Now, Trump is now interested in getting rid of the special prosecutor, the investigator, Mueller, because now he's saying, well, he was friends with Comey. Well, damn, how many friends do you have that you're in cahoots with? But you see, that's another narrative change to get your mind, the media focus on, well, maybe he's right. Well, let's look at the possibility of a conflict there. No, the conflict is right there at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, right there where you live. You are it, Mr. President. You are the problem. But he wants to get rid of Mueller. So if he gets rid of him, then what? Then what?
I was lost when you talked about the greatness of our country and our vulnerability to being hacked. Lee, at some point, we have to realize, no, we are not the greatest country in the world.
Well, we're great enough to know that you're being hacked. Come on. Right. You talk to any IT professional, okay? Now, I don't have a degree in IT, but I have run technology companies of my own, installing networks and firewalls and all kind of ways of protecting your internet connectivity. I know. I don't have to ask nobody no damn questions. When you have the ability to monitor the in and out of your routers and your firewall and all of that, unless everybody was sitting around doing crack, you had to have some damn indication that your system was being hacked. That's what I'm saying. So I don't buy that, well, we didn't know. Well, how were we supposed to know? The tools are available. And I'm confident, and I would bet 100% that our government has these tools in place. Corporate America has it in place. John Q. Public on Fifth Avenue has it in place. All you have to do is look to see the IP addresses, the country they're coming from, and how far they have penetrated into your system. It's common knowledge. That's what I'm saying.
So tell me, Lee, with all that you have just said, and the seemingly polypurebred that our IT professionals and our government and all of that, could you surmise that leaving the door open to our registration database, leaving the door open to our infrastructure, our water, our electrical grid, could you argue that this is by design, totally by design?
I don't rule it out. I think it's a strong possibility. And until we have the answers to that question and many others, then we have to hold this election as suspect on a high level of not being a credible election. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to talk about no damn impeachment. I want to talk about a recall. We need a new election, and America needs to man up and say, hey, look, we have a problem here. Let's fix it. Let's own up to it. And if we find the conclusive evidence that this election was in fact tampered with, how can we honor it? How can we say this is our president? How can you go to sleep at night knowing that it was tampered with but it's okay? Well, or everything that we see here, he won the Electoral College. No, he stole it.
And why is there not a call for a national voter registration database? And if you can't, I think I heard in a story that Rachel Maddow did that there were over 900 different databases that had to be hacked into. Well,
that's not bad. That's not hard to do.
There in Texas, they hacked into the Dallas County only. All of the Republican counties around it, surrounded, nothing. And there were 17 IP addresses from Russia that hacked into the Dallas County database and changed and erased voters. So, when they say it didn't affect the outcome, why is there no one standing up saying that's a damnable lie? It did.
Mm-hmm.
And why is there not a call from both sides to say we need a better registration format and we need a secure format? We need to take away the ability of each individual state to gerrymander not just the districts but the election. You shut down polling places and you create long lines and you create that burden on people to stand in line 3 and 4 hours and people walking away or longer. Right. And then you stand around and want to talk about a legitimate election?
No. It's not legitimate. It can't be. It can't be. There's no way in hell. And I was even anticipating the state of Texas in this last presidential election to turn purple, not continuing to be red. When you're talking about sending Mexicans back across the border and all that, Texas is one of the biggest states that would be impacted by that. So I was predicting, I'm just using common sense here, that the majority of the legal Mexicans in the state of Texas and others, but certainly the state of Texas, would have stood tall and vote against the idea of sending their relatives or themselves back to Mexico.
Well, they're already doing that.
Well, we know that, but
why are they just picking on them? What about Asians that are here?
Well, that's true.
What about Russians that are here illegally?
And Jews, people from Israel.
Can I answer something?
And all around the world. Canadians.
Anthony Hamilton, I don't know who he is.
He's one of our
listeners. He thought I felt that you guys should go back to Africa. I didn't mean it like that. I said it's like everybody forgets about the Native Americans. Yeah. This was our country.
That's right.
But believe me, it was the biggest bloodbath in history. They won't even put it in writing because it was done in this country.
Yeah. Of course. They're not proud of the slaughter.
My people suffered severely. Read the Trail of Tears. There's not a lot of us left.
You're right.
So I just feel if I had a choice and I lived back in that, and there was somewhere I could have went. I would have went back to wherever my ancestors were because of the hate. I'm not enjoying being in this country any longer.
Well, the problem with the
I
Carol
don't like
is
all the hate, and I see it in every race. It's just hate, hate, hate.
the people that were brought here against their will, the slaves, and there were slaves from all different countries. But I'm going to talk about the Africans because that's where much of my
Well, you
heritage
didn't let
is
me
from.
finish, though. They
I
made
thought you were
slaves of
finished.
my people.
Of course they did. We
And
know
the
that.
funny thing is, it was the Spanish people that came here.
Mhm.
It was Columbus. He wasn't, you know what I'm saying? People
Yeah.
get confused, but it isn't just one race that has suffered. I mean, my mother's Jewish, so I have Native American and I've had to listen when I was younger to what they did to Jewish people, put them in ovens.
Mhm.
Just to put them in cold water to see how much they could stand. Took all the older people and took their teeth out if they had gold or that.
Yeah.
I mean, this country has suffered in many ways, but for someone now to come in and become our president that wants to take what we've all had to suffer and fight for from us, I sincerely believe we're not going to sit back.
Well,
we are not going to sit back this time.
Well, it's a continuation of the mindset that came here from day one to come in and take your country away from you. They didn't give a damn about you. They wanted the minerals, the gold, the silver, the oil, the water, the land, everything. They came in and took it. They took it.
But you know what I try to do? I try to live for now. And
Well, you
I've
have
done
to.
that
You
for
can't
years.
turn back the
but
hands of
with
time.
them in office, it's frightening me to death because
Well,
there's more of
reason.
us, to be honest. But can we fight those weapons they have?
no.
We can't.
You can't.
This country will become just like Syria and everywhere else.
Thank you.
We will find out what it's going to be
And they
like.
do what? They do what? They kill and kill everything
Yes.
they love.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Well, I would hope and pray that there are more Americans. I want to call us Americans, whether you're black, Native Americans, Chinese, wherever you're from, wherever your heritage, your background is. You're in this country now.
And you're an
And you-
American once you're born here.
Right. And if the shit hits the fan, what side will you be on? If there's a revolution, are you going to stand up and be a true American and protect what's right? Or are you going to cave and be a part of the what started all of this? The pillaging, the killing, the control, the slavery, and all of that. Where are you
Well,
going
in
to
a
go?
roundabout way, that's where they're headed. They got privatized prisons again. Who's going to be their workforce for them? They know what they're doing.
Well,
And who
They're
defines
destroying
the rules?
our country, and it's
And who defines the
sad.
rules?
the people
Who
in power,
says who's right
Yeah.
or wrong?
The
Who
people in
says
power.
who's American?
the powerful, the rich, the people that are in
I mean,
control
I have
now.
a client, and she knows how upset. And you know what she said to me? Well, I'll take care of you and your family. You guys can come here and stay. It's like the first place I would head, and I hate to say this, and I don't care if they arrest me for this. I would head, if we headed to a revolution, I would head to the rich people's houses, and I'd probably want to slaughter them first, since they feel so much
Purge.
hate. And that's not all rich people, though.
No.
I have clients that
see, you
are
can't-
totally on our side.
Right. You can't categorize all people, put everybody in the same bucket. I listen, and I'm not advocating a war, a race riot, or anything like that. I'm not with that. Okay? That's not who I am. It's not what I believe in. It's not a part of my character or DNA. But the reality is, I'm concerned that it is a real possibility.
Well, if
And it's not going to be pretty because there's 350 million guns owned by citizens in this country.
Oh, now they want to allow people to walk into New York where they can carry their guns. I don't know if it passed yet, but
Yeah.
it's
It'll be a mess.
just it's frightening if these people stay in office, and it's scary because you do have people that follow the leader.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have no brains. They don't care.
You know,
They don't care.
depending on who you are and your background and your race, say for example being African American or black. Once upon a time ago, somebody made the rules that you were black and we were white, and no matter what you do and say, we will keep a boot on your neck, whether physical in real life or mental beyond, and probably both along the way. When someone is able to have that much dominion and power over you, you have no idea who you are. You have no idea, because once again, like you said earlier, who made the rules? And then the people who are at the gateway, at the guardian of these rules, continue it in some way, shape, or form. So you stay over there, because we cannot allow you to advance yourself, to have a job, to work better, because we cannot have middle class anymore. And I think that's part of the reason. It's all encompassing, but you need somebody at the helm, like a 45, to keep galvanizing the proverbial boot on the neck of all of us.
They're not even against just race. They're against the poor, the middle class. It doesn't even just, and they want racists to start fighting each other. So if you watch what they're doing.
Well, yeah, if you look at it, it's going towards a civil war. That's where we're heading. Because nobody, and I repeat, a lot of people that you talk to or just know through conversation, they're not going to take it. They're not going to take it. This man in office has been able to alienate everybody. Nobody feels safe. Nobody feels that there's a future, because he has made it known that, look, I am your dictator. I am your, twiddler, and this is how things are going to be. I'm dealing with Russia. I'm going to keep on doing it. Nothing you can do about it. Go back to what we talked about with the dash cams officers have and vest cams. That is an insult to anybody paying taxes or money towards a police officer, because we've seen these people getting killed, and the officer still walks away scot-free.
Yep.
That is an insult not only to the family, but you should be insulted, because we are part of the human condition.
It's that blue code, man.
It's funny,
exactly.
though. I seen that when I was younger in Montana all the time. A cop could kill because we didn't have a lot of us minorities, but they could kill us, and it didn't matter. There was no more said about it.
Yep.
And I'm very serious when I say that. I mean, they would pick us up if there was a game, just so we couldn't be at the game, put us in jail for the night for no reason. So
they didn't
that's
need
why
a
when
reason.
people say, "Do you go back to Montana?" I go, "Hell no, I don't go to Montana." And now somebody wants to have a reunion in Yellowstone. Hell no, I'm not going to Montana. They don't like anybody.
Yep. They stole Montana from you.
Yeah.
Actually forced you to Montana.
Only thing we learned in history at those schools was the Indians killed Custer, whatever the hell his name was.
And that's it. I remember Virginia's history. And, it was a big deal that, they landed in Jamestown, Yorktown, and Williamsburg, and the 3 ships are there, sitting there in the water. It's part of a museum and tour and all that shit. And there's a fort there and a guillotine and a replica of how they lived in these little huts and all that stuff. And I'm going, yeah, but isn't this where they hung and kills some of the slaves that rebelled?
Horrible.
And, isn't this a place where the slaves were not allowed to stay in the same places where the white people, the masters, isn't this the same place where the master would come down and rape the African women and have children with them, and that was okay?
Make servants of their own children.
Absolutely. Those were the slaves that were allowed closer proximity
well, you don't
to
remember
the big house.
Years ago when they had the Black Caucus or thing, there was one group that all went to, and they were all very light-skinned people. I'm trying to think what fraternity that was. Or there was a group, because I guess years ago not everybody could go to college.
Well, that's true. So,
we're just headed that way again, though. You're seeing it. You're seeing what they're doing. I watched my son, because my son's mini racist, but I think he looks more black and Asian than anything. And he sees it in jobs. he can be a better photographer than any of the white people out there, but doesn't happen for him like that. He's got to work every day.
Absolutely.
And he's afraid. I could see it yesterday talking to him. He really supported watching the BET Awards, and he was very excited. He said that most of the stuff that's out there that people really like was these new rappers and that the younger generation of all races is really into that. They're pulling away from the DJ music.
Yeah. The EDM, electronic.
Now, there was a white guy on there rapping. He was amazing.
You don't remember his name?
No, my son knew all these people. I don't know these. I don't listen to all this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to dance a little
I didn't even
for
watch
him.
it. I think they replay it, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to watch it if you didn't. I thought it was a very good show. I was very impressed with Bruno Mars. Did you watch it? Anybody watch it? So nobody
No,
watched
I didn't
it?
watch it. I was in fact, I was working at WVON last night during that time.
Well, go back in and watch it and watch Bruno Mars. Watch is it Escaped? I can't believe how good those girls were. I didn't really know of them. I did not know that she could sing like that, the girl that's on the reality show. I was blown away with them. Because a lot of the shows you watch, I hate to say this because I don't like to use the word white or whatever, they're all lip singing. They don't sing. They don't sing in their concerts. I was listening to Katy Perry last night at Glastonbury, and she was singing live. She sounded horrible. Absolutely. And here she's worth about 300-something million by not really being a singer, by being white and whatever. But to watch them last night on that show, there were some very talented people. Very talented. Mary J. Blige was good.
I like Mary J. I always have.
She was dressed really, really nice, very sexy.
Yeah.
There was a girl, I don't know who she was. She looked like she was mixed. And she sounded like Macy Gray. She was very, very good. I just don't know none of the new girls.
I have no idea who that was. I'm definitely going to go back and look at it because I'd like to just see what's up. You know, try to stay up with what's going on, but it's difficult. And now that I'm not programming contemporary radio anymore, I have no desire to do that. It's not that big of a deal. You know,
yeah, but Lee
I'm not
works
interested.
24/7.
I do work a lot.
He doesn't get a break.
No. What's a break?
That's what
These are the breaks.
Stay out of that damn cab and get some sleep.
It
Lee.
isn't even just the
Forget
cab.
about it.
He's a person that just he's a very nice person. There's nothing he wouldn't do for somebody, and sometimes he needs to say no and take a break.
I wouldn't know how to do that.
I mean, he drove me around the other day.
I started to drop her off in New Mexico.
Well, because he kept forgetting to move. We'd be at a stop sign, and he'd just keep sitting there, and I'm like, Lee?
I was taking a break.
He was. I thought he fell asleep
It wasn't
for a
that
few
damn
times.
long. No, I
yes,
did not.
you did it
That
at
was-
the stop signs.
It was not.
That was
You're
an
just being
all-timers
impatient.
break, okay?
Yeah, you one of these shotgun drivers. You're going to call me up to have me take you somewhere, but then you go tell me how to drive. Ain't that nothing?
We had fun, though, didn't we?
No. You
Yes,
had
you
fun.
did.
You,
We had
you
fun.
terrorized me. Next time I'm going to blindfold you, put the red ball in your mouth, and tie your hands behind your back and put you in the trunk.
See, if he wasn't
No, we
working
talked-
yesterday, we could have went up to Nita's. They had a big jam session.
Yeah. Yeah, I went by Anita Porter's house to pick up some stuff, and she looked great, by the way. She's a
And
wonderful
she
still
person.
thinks
get
she
bald.
doesn't. I told her, you look great.
She looked fantastic.
She didn't have makeup on or nothing.
I like that. When you look good with no flossing, then you cool in the gang. You know what I mean? That's
Lee,
natural beauty.
You still carry gag balls around.
I have one.
What's a gag ball?
That's the red ball. You just mentioned him putting it.
Put it in her mouth, the red ball.
He just mentioned putting a red ball in. It's called a gag ball. It's on what was the name of that movie? With Samuel and
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson.
What was the name of that?
Pulp
Pulp
Fiction.
Fiction.
Pulp
Oh, I
Fiction,
like
yeah.
Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction.
Yeah,
That's
that
a gag ball. And was it Vin Rames?
Ving Rhames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good movie.
Yeah.
I watched Rambo the other night. I forgot how good Rambo was. A lot of the older movies are really good. Did you ever like
You know,
Rambo?
Carol.
Mm-hmm.
I can't
You know,
believe
Carol,
how tough he
when-
was with that bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sat up and watched
Yeah,
Rambo. I
yeah.
thought, what a great movie.
Yeah. You know what movie I watched, Carol? Because
What?
you brought it to light when you were speaking about how bad America did the Indian population. I watched Fort Apache with that bigot racist John Wayne,
Oh yeah, he was.
and I was
very
pulling
racist.
for the Indians all the way.
Yeah,
And when
yeah.
they slaughtered Henry Fonda and the cavalry that he refused, I was cheering. I was sitting here cheering. At 64 years old, I was sitting here cheering for the Indians.
Can you believe how racist he was? And the funny thing
John
is, it
Wayne
was
or
never
Henry
real
Fonda?
Native Americans in the movies.
Right. Right.
You know,
Jeez.
they still do that because in is it Twilight? The one kid is not Native American. Why couldn't you have used the Native American kid for the main role?
Yeah, well, Wonder Woman has something to say about that. Okay.
Oh, did you see Wonder Woman? It's a very good movie.
No, I haven't
No.
seen Wonder Woman.
I would
nor-
advise you to see it.
Nor
It's a
do I
very
plan
good
on it.
movie.
Yeah, I'm not interested either.
I'm waiting for that Planet of the Ape one to come out. I think the apes are going to be the winners this time.
Mm-hmm.
I like those kind of movies. You know, they keep you on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
But that movie was cute the other night. It was, what's it called? Rough Night Out or Rough Out? Something it was about these women that were getting together because one was getting married. And they all had different personalities. Like Lenny Kravitz's daughter was very good in it. Very cute girl. And I don't usually go to movies.
I wonder why she got the part, huh?
She was great for the movie. She was very good in this movie.
What
Could
movie
be.
is this?
Night Out, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, that's the name of it, Night Out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She was good in it. I can see why she got it. She played that role well. Demi Moore was in it, which I was surprised.
Really, Demi is out, huh? Okay.
Yeah, she was in it.
I never thought she was that great of an actress, but she's not hard to look at.
She still looked great. Scarlett Johansson. I don't think I knew who the other ones were. It's a good movie, though. It's a funny movie. Sometimes you want to laugh.
I can't remember the last movie I saw. Did I go to a movie with you one time?
No, because she probably would never do it again.
Oh,
I sit
Thanks
in the
for the warning.
handicap section because it's way in the back.
thanks for the warning.
That sounds to be right in a lot of things.
Damn.
No, I'm not bad to go to the movie with.
You just said that.
I want the outside, so if I sit down first and you want the outside, but I get it first, I'm not moving.
Oh, I don't give a damn what you said. I'm not that picky. I just want to. You know what? I'd like to be in the middle, about halfway up, if I can. I mean, if not, then no big deal. You're still going to see the same thing.
In movies, though, the theater's not big, so
Yeah.
you really. I sit in the back in the handicap section. The woman knows me, so she gives me these seats because they're not that far big in there, and the food's so expensive.
Yeah. See, I don't
It's
want
out
to
of
have
control, the food, but I like the seats.
I don't
because
want a
you can
meal
lay down
when I
and
go out to the movie.
Put your
I
feet
just
up.
want to sit and watch the movie. I might have some popcorn, maybe.
Does
Well,
any-
they have
bag of
liquor,
popcorn
too,
is
in there.
$2,000 now, so I'm not buying it.
Does any of you know when the movie Police Academy came out?
When it came out, I remember it.
Police Academy.
Wasn't there like a Academy 1 and 2 or 3 or something?
Right. I mean, Chris, do you remember?
Well, the first one, I think it was like in the 80s, right?
Well, that's the last time I went to the movies. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez, okay.
What do you get, bootleg now?
Bootleg. I get HBO.
Oh, okay.
I get Showtime.
You know, for a minute,
get-
I didn't go to theaters either because I was at a play and there was a rat in the theater and it ran up somebody.
But
And
damn,
I thought,
Carol,
I'm
how
not
long ago
going
was
to
that?
these places.
How long ago was that?
A couple years ago, I was
Really?
with my friends. We were watching Debbie Allen's play. And it was at this place in Pasadena. And we sat up in the balcony because sometimes you get a better view. And they were doing a graveyard scene, which all of a sudden you hear all this screaming downstairs and running. And I looked at my friend. I said, "Well, that don't fit in with this scene. The cast running through the audience." And my friend looked at me. She said, "That ain't part of no scene." I said, "I'll bet that there's a rat." And I was right. This rat, whether you put your feet up or not, it does not matter because they'll jump from the ceiling. It ran all the way around her body.
Oh, my God.
You could hear men screaming, women screaming. And the play kept going on.
Men screaming?
Yeah, everybody was screaming
then
and
worse than
running.
to hear
You
the
could hear
man
all this
scream.
running.
Yeah, that's disgusting, man.
But my
Yeah.
friend was so funny when she said that ain't part of the play.
No, but it's true. Like back in the day here in Chicago, they had like what they call super rats. It was an epidemic. I mean, these rats, was like
Now playing.
from super rats.
Super
right?
Rats.
And they would be in the movie theater with you next door, like right sitting next to you eating popcorn their damn selves.
Say, yo, man, you want to pass the bag?
Hey man, pass that butter popcorn, man.
Well,
One of
this
the-
kid
one of the-
told me
Bite you
when
on
they
the
go in
elbow.
and clean up, he said they really go in there, they sweep, but he said they start yelling in that so the rats go back.
Scatter. Yeah.
And then he
Yeah.
was telling me that the popcorn machine, you might not want to eat popcorn after you hear this. He said they
Yeah.
went to clean it. They cleaned it once a month, and there was a rat,
Once
a
a
dead rat
month.
in there.
Oh, of course, the rat got greedy, ate
Went in there
ate
and
himself
ate,
to
couldn't
death.
get back out.
Ate himself into a coma.
So you don't know
Yep.
what you get.
Ooh, I'm in popcorn heaven.
Well, Chris, you remember Ozzie Guillen's joke about rats?
Oh, what did he say?
When he was in Wrigley Field and the White Sox were playing the Cubs, and they interviewed Ozzie Guillen,
I'm
Ozzie
giving
Guillen
myself a
said
10-minute warning.
that the rats are lifting weights.
Did you see some
It's
of
like
those
Gold's
rats
Gym.
in New York? They've been
Yeah.
Oh,
showing.
yeah.
Oh my God!
Hell, when I lived there in the mid-'90s, they had a garbage strike, and so all the garbage was piled up on the sidewalks. Man, these
I
rats were
remember
out
that.
there at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, like, yo, man, what's in that bag over there? I don't know. Let's go over there and get it. And then the doorman where I was living, he had a baseball bat, and he would have to go out there and beat them off the garbage.
Yep. There you
That was
go.
part of his job. I went, damn. It was disgusting. And the smell.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. But, yeah, these things were big as cats.
There
Beverly
you go,
Hills
cats,
is
right.
like that. They
Yeah.
got huge rats in Beverly Hills.
I mean,
In the
if I was a
flats.
cat, I would say, yo, man, I ain't going to mess with that fat-ass rat. No, he's eating better than me. Oh, you
like
better
I
go
said-
get my mountain lion buddy up there, but I ain't messing with him.
Well, they go to this garbage, and all this garbage stuff, is these foods, have, steroids and stuff
Oh,
there
yeah,
anyway.
right.
You just sit up there and get jacked. Like you said
That's
before, you
right.
sit up there with a super rat with a Gold's Gym, shirt on. Oh, yeah!
And pumping 4 garbage cans a day now.
Ooh, look at my rat. I'm getting jacked.
Yeah, it's a serious problem. I remember growing up in Virginia, and there was a feed store, that you go buy corn and grain and stuff for your farming. And we had a real bad rain, and this feed store flooded. And the rats that were coming out of that thing was big. They were huge, like little pigs. They were eating corn and grain every day, all day.
Yeah.
So, they were fat rats. And man, these things, it must have been 100 of them floating down the drain. It was bizarre.
I don't like rats or mice.
I don't think anybody
Give me a
likes rats.
snake,
No,
or that
come
it
on,
don't bother
come on.
me, but a mouse.
I don't
I
want
saw-
snakes either.
I saw a guy take a pack of dogs, and he had a pitchfork, and they were breaking up ground. And the dogs were there to kill the rats. And as he jammed that pitchfork into the ground and broke apart that dirt, the rats began to run.
What?
And there were about 8 to 10 dogs. And the rats had no chance because it was open field. The dogs were faster.
Yeah.
The dog would grab the rat and shake it to
him.
death, and all you could hear was the rat squealing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I must have watched these dogs kill about 30 or 40 rats.
Wow.
And
So they were
you
living
know,
in the ground.
Right. They had their, I mean, the number of rats that came out from underground, and he was digging up big chunks of the ground. He was jamming that pitchfork in and pulling it up. Rats were running everywhere.
Wow.
And it seemed to be field day for the dogs, and the dogs were happy.
They were having big
as hell.
fun.
Yeah, but those dogs would get rabies from those rats if they bit them.
Possibly.
They wasn't eating them; they were killing.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Breaking them in half.
Yeah, that's right. Take that, you rat bastards.
Well, you never know how this show's going to end up. We went from politics to, my bad driving and
Well, I
I'm
had to
staying
get
too
you guys
long
off
in the
that
stop
subject.
signs to rats.
Sometimes you got to get you guys off the subject. It gets depressing.
Yeah, it is.
To
Yeah,
watch
you're right, but the
what's happening.
politics
I
and
just
rats
seen one
is
of my
not that much of a
sisters
stretch.
post that Trump's going to make insurance better. I can't believe she posted that. It's like, get off my page.
Who said that?
One of my sisters.
Oh. Well, they believe what they hear.
They can believe what they want, but
That doesn't make it real because somebody else said it. Everything that Trump has said does not mean it's real.
I think our president will save it.
Well, good. I hope you're right.
And it's going to really hurt her.
Yeah, I hope you're right.
It tears families apart. I have a friend. He cut every one of his Republican clients loose. He's a hairdresser. He will not do their hair.
Really?
Nope. He said he'd
well,
rather
he has
make
that
less
right.
money. I don't want to do their hair. They're not coming and sitting in my chair, he said, and talking about how great Trump is.
Well, I don't blame him.
So
I
he
probably
kicked
wouldn't
everyone.
either.
He kicked his clients out.
I don't blame him.
He will only do people that are that aren't Trump people.
Well, sometimes it's best not to talk politics to your hairdresser.
Yeah, but sometimes, because they
You know?
come in and they want you to agree with what they're saying. And
Yeah.
I just sometimes don't answer it, but sometimes I get irritated
Yeah.
because they really think he's going to make this country wonderful. It's like, well, you better put a huge wall around your whole house because once all this hits, even your security guards aren't going to protect your ass.
Man, I tell you, if I was their keeper of their hair, when they left my chair, they looked like somebody had been pecking them in the head with chickens. I'd F them up. Said, damn, you look beautiful today. Wow, I outdid myself. Look at how good you look. And I have to hold the mirror up and go, what did you do to me? I didn't do anything to you. You walked in here as a Republican. Now you're a damn fool for coming
It
here.
kind of bothers me when they show no compassion.
Now you look like a Republican.
No compassion whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, listen, many of the things that we say here on the show, some of it is just to make you laugh. Other parts of it is to inform you, to open your eyes, educate you, so that you're not walking around with misinformation. We try the best that we can to be factual. We don't want to steer you in a bad way, but we want to make you think. Sometimes we go back and forth and engage with each other. I disagree with Carol sometimes. She disagrees with me, Well,
that's what makes the show interesting.
That's
when
right. That's right.
Carol goes up against you three.
That's right. So that's why we keep her around. So
And
we
I
can
don't believe in everything I
abuse
say,
her.
believe me.
But I am going to put this ball in your mouth. It's
One day,
strange.
one day, Lee,
You
we
can't
have to
get rid of it.
He told me the other
One
day.
day, Lee,
you don't
we
have
gotta
to
have a
pay me,
conversation
Carol.
about
you don't
ball
have to
gagging.
give me nothing, Carol. That's okay. I said, oh, what? You think you're going to get a blowjob or something?
Oh, Jesus, Carol. Oh,
She's twisted,
Jesus,
man.
Carol. How
See?
can such such graphic
I know.
description,
Please,
Carol.
don't act
She's
like
totally
you're
unfiltered.
It's either you either talking about a yank, or now you're talking about BJ's. Come on, Carol. If we needed that, we'd have brought Apollo in. All right.
That's right.
No, I'm trying to get him to understand that he's such a nice guy. There's nothing he
God.
wouldn't do for somebody.
Yeah, I try
And
hard.
sometimes he needs to take a break and go
Wait a
enjoy
minute.
himself.
But nothing wrong with a BJ.
Look at
Nothing
it.
wrong.
I'm just
If I
hoping
was
he's
doing the show, I
barbecuing
would have
while
one right
everybody's out
now.
of town.
Okay.
Now, I would
No,
be
this-
afraid to have Carol perform a beach.
Hey, I gotta
She's
go.
scared the crap out of me.
You all have sullied the airways. I have to go. I can't.
Yeah, you didn't
I
see
can
what
no longer
I
be a
posted the
part of
other
this
day? That
ruse.
woman got mad because her husband was cheating.
What
She bit
did
it off.
No kidding. See,
Yeah.
that's what.
Oh,
Oh, hell
Oh,
no.
jeez.
That
It's
poor
time to
bastard.
go. Y'all take care. Bye now. See you later. We gotta go.
Gotta go. It's time to
Have
go.
a great day. Bye.
Nothing
There's
wrong with a BJ. Nothing wrong
Well,
with that at all.
yeah, but it's got to be right.
You got that right, exactly.
You can't
Know
be
what you're
fearful
doing. Don't bite it off.
that you might come up a little short, or one ball missing afterwards or something.
That's another ball gag.
Oh, Carol, you are
Well,
out of
I
control.
have to scare you guys away. It's fun to laugh.
Absolutely. Thank you for so much for that. And thank you guys for watching and listening and putting up with our craziness. It's been fun to be here with you today, and we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it again, okay? All right? You promised to be here. We'll be here at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Chris, thanks a lot. Carol, Alfo, and all of you for making it another fantastic, informative, crazy, off-the-wall, and sometimes funny show. Thank you. I'm Lee Michaels. You have a good day. Peace out.